Hey there. Before we start, just wanted to hop on here and say, give you a little heads up, maybe a trigger warning that perhaps you might see a photo of yourself from 20, 25 years ago. And if that does happen, please know we have all, including myself, aged gracefully and wonderfully. But if you do see yourself, leave a little comment below and say, hey, that's me. Hey, I remember that. Hey, I haven't seen that person in years. And while you're there, give us a little thumbs up, push that subscribe button. We've got so many wonderful things coming up and you're not going to want to miss any of them. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Let's get going now. Look at this picture. That is, I think, 1976, probably, at church. My debut performance. That's me right there. The shepherd with the towel on his head and the red bathrobe. That's my uncle. There's my dad being wise men with their tinfoil hats on. What about that? It's how it all started. The story of Jesus born in a stable. I guess you could say from looking at this picture, so was my career. I've gone down such the rabbit hole of pictures in the last 24 hours. And this is elementary school. I was singing a solo in the Christmas program. And then look at this kid. 3rd grade, did a dance routine for the talent show to Disco Mickey Mouse. Yes, I did. Even glued a bunch of sequins on my shirt. Kids these days have it so easy. They just get sequins on their shirt when they buy them. I had to glue mine. I was in 7th grade, 8th grade maybe. I played Aslan the Lion in a production of Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. My wonderful gold onesie. My wig that looks like it came from a mannequin at Belk. Oh, the times, how they have changed. That Nikki and I did together, she would have been in the 5th grade? Yeah, she finished 5th grade. And if you look right here in the back of this corner, she played a squirrel. There I am, knighting Peter. And there's Nikki, dressed as a squirrel. Little did those two wacky kids know that someday they would be married, doing this all the time. Let's see if I've got it. Oh, there's a good one. Here's one of Nikki in her squirrel outfit. Right there. There she is. The squirrel. Nikki the squirrel. Gosh, that was a long time ago. There's that production of Wizard of Oz on the little middle school stage where I would eventually work. This was the summer after 9th grade, I think it was. So funny how things come full circle. There we were, doing that little play, having no clue that someday I'd be working there. And then, here's one for you. Nikki and I were in a play together in high school, and we played brother and sister. Here we go. Here's a good one. Can't hardly see it. But there we are, playing brother and sister in a show. And there again, there's Fred Barker, playing our mean, dastardly uncle in Babes in Toyland. This is where I spent the majority of my time. I think it's called the University Theater now, University Auditorium. But it used to be called Huey. They changed the name. Look it up. I won't tell you why. But if you look right in there, beside of those stairs, is where my first ever acting class was. Right there at the bottom of those stairs. Isn't that funny? Steve Ayers. He taught me pace, he taught me timing. He taught me so much. I loved that man. He was very strict. Some people thought he was pretty harsh. For the most part, he was spectacular. He passed away a few years ago. And I looked on my Facebook yesterday, I haven't, and last thing he did in 2001, he'd sent me a message that said, "Happy birthday, I love you."
Aww.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's open. I don't know if we're allowed to be in here. But we're just gonna walk in and see. Love this space. Love it. My friend Allison and I would sit on these stairs and eat Subway before rehearsal. But look at this wonderful space.
Crazy stage, even if there was a stage, so we know how to.
Oh, the hours I've spent in here.
Kids, they don't even know what to compare it to because they started out with the best. But it's amazing.
So fun to stand here. I remember doing a funny thing happened on the way to the Forum, and of course we were in little Roman skirts, and I was singing "Lovely, Absolutely Lovely," and the orchestra director would stand down there in the pit and make them all look like they were looking at my skirt.
Of course we did.
Yeah. So I had so many classes in here. I would sit on those stairs right there. We were doing Midsummer Night's Dream, and we watched a guy fall in the pit that night. I've done so many shows on the stage. And then I remember in Midsummer 2, we flew in that, and the pendulum flights, they would jump off of there to land there to shoot the fairies up over the... Cracked me up though, the wing space here. Look at how much wing space. So fun. Such memories. Huh. I love it. From offstage, the dressing rooms are downstairs. So you'd have to run down here, change clothes, then run back up the stairs.
Your steps.
This was the green room. These are the dressing rooms. I wonder if they're unlocked. They're not. Blah.
This is a dressing room.
Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Look at this. I've been in here forever. Gosh, it's
Looks
been
like the chairs were
probably the exact same chairs. But it's literally probably been 30 years since I've been in here. Yeah. It's so weird. I love it though.
Does it smell the same?
It smells the same. And then there's another set of stairs that goes up to stage left.
Oh.
So you had a stage
Oh,
left
that's nice.
and a stage right. Now it's just storage, but these used to be offices. Like this, I think was Steve Ayers' office. Yeah. Yeah, this is where I had my directing class. This is where we would meet in his
Wow.
office for directing. Now it's just storage. I guess they don't have offices here anymore. They just use it for storage. I love the stadium size of the audience. It's so dark in here. Yeah, and this is where you'd hang out before a show, and if anybody came to see you in the show, they would meet you down here.
It's fun.
And if you got flowers or presents,
It would all be there.
they would all be. I mean, this isn't the same furniture. That looks pretty familiar, though. But I'm pretty sure that mirror was there. This was where our sign-in sheet would be above the water fountain. Right across was where the Stillwell building was. So there used to be a building right there where the walkway is. And you'd go under there to get to the laundry. And Niggly Theater was right there where that glass wall is. And we did a bunch of shows in there too. No, just doesn't exist. I'm glad they haven't torn this building down.
Fun. I'm glad I got to see this.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't, it's pretty messed up here now, but it used to be like, you know, nice offices and everything, nice furniture. But yeah, then you'd go up. We used to do this. You'd go one. Yeah. That's how we climb up the stairs. the funny.
There's of it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And you could go this way. Just go straight into the audience. It's the best. So fun. That's where I made my entrance when we did Smoke on the Mountain. Here years ago. This. And during one show, I had so many costume changes. This was my dressing room. Literally. And there was a lady that stayed right back here. She sat on those steps for my quick changes. And I changed clothes, I want to say 18 times in that show.
Oh my lord, are you kidding?
So literally, I'd come running through that door, change, guys and dolls, go back, come running through, just go back.
18 times?
Yep.
No wonder you don't feel sorry for us when we have a lot of
No.
costume changes.
Special place. I am where I am because of this building, probably. The time spent here. Somebody must love the box office there. But yeah, remember standing there taking a picture right there. One day when the show was sold out. I have a picture right down there beside that tree of all of us on our way to Miami one night. We used to have, we'd clear out the costume rooms and have costume sales at Halloween down there
Oh, that's
on the concrete every year. People would come buy old costumes.
a great idea.
That's the building. My first semester where I was in Spanish 3 and I was supposed to be in Spanish 1 and didn't know that until almost the end of the semester. Boy, was that a struggle and a half. Everyone speaking fluent Spanish. And I'm like,
You were like,
what is going on here?
That's how college was.
I just thought, whew, that must be why everybody...
That is so funny.
Look, they put those little pipes in the wall for when we did Midsummer Night's Dream so that they could hang flags out from the time period.
That was from that?
That was from Midsummer Night's Dream. It's still there. There it is. Building that changed my life. Okay, so you're not going to believe this. This is a costume that I made for a play called You Never Can Tell, where I had to dress as a harlequin at a costume party. So this was one of my projects in school. And I cut out and put together all these little patterns. And the other day I was going through things and I found a little baggie of those triangles. I've saved them all of these years. That was the spring of 1997. And I still have a baggie full of my patterns, of my little swatches of fabric. What about that? That used to be Bob's Mini Mart. And when we were doing Amadeus, my character died halfway through Act 2. So I had a big long time. So some of us dressed in our full Mozart attire across the street to Bob's Mini Mart. That was the only time I ever got fussed at.
Did you laugh during a show?
Because we were walking around in our costumes out on the street here. I mean, it didn't look like this. All of this stuff didn't exist. But here we are working around with our powdered wigs and our knickers and our tailcoats. It's changed a ton. Ooh. Used to be there was a street that went through there. Not anymore. There's the Bardot building, the new Performing Arts building that they were breaking ground when I was graduating. When I did Smoke on the Mountain. This is Effie in the costume shop. I don't know what she's wearing, but it's great. It's me and Amadeus. That's the outfit that I walked across the parking lot, across the street during the show to get a snack. This is me, and a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Look how young and tan that kid is. This is like we're sitting down in the green room of Hui. Right there where that giant mirror is. The mirror would be to the right, to the left, to their right. Getting ready for a show. On stage at Hui. Here's one from A Midsummer Night's Dream. Michelle and Allison. I think it's just great. Some more friends. Look at this outfit, that sunflower tie. Boy, what was I thinking there? That was Forum. It's a friend of mine, Bryce. Bryce actually has been to our theater. He comes here every time Sandy Patty comes. There was Smoke on the Mountain, Evil and Brooding. Evil and Brooding. Look at that. Midsummer Night's Dream. Lysander was me, and Demetrius. This is a friend of mine named Scott. It was Scott and Scotty. This is Allison in a costume I designed for a show. Isn't that funny? Oh, look at that one. Phil Hare and Sweet Julie. They both passed away. But so kind. They were both so kind to me. Even though I wore a tie like that. Funny story, Phil was on the board of directors at the time when I graduated, and he stopped graduation and walked across the stage and greeted me right there in front of everyone. I've met some great people along the way. It's probably been 10 years since I've been in here. Look at this little tiny stage. But it looks like they've redone the floor. Look at that. Oh, the curtains are going up on the top too. You want to see something funny though? Come here, look at this. You see all that tape stuck to those poles? That was me. I would have one buys. There used to be black curtains around the whole thing. I guess they took those down. But I would string one buys across here and then string extension cords up over the one buys and then hang lights from those. Isn't that something? The number of things I painted that black, and you see the wooden thing up there, that's where I would hang Christmas lights to make stars. Look at this, and these right here, I put up there, one on each side. because I bought snow machines and would shoot snow on the stage. How funny. You know how many years I spent here? Now here's the other thing. Look at this on this side. This was the backstage. And those light switches right there, which are covered up by wrestling mats, I guess is what it is. I would control the lights that were in the front, which there's no more lights there. How do they light the front of the stage? But that's what they look like. There was a track up there and then there was some more in the middle.
You just flick them on and off.
Yeah, and they would actually dim though with the switch. And I could change them. I figured out how I could assign a switch to a light on the track. And then I would put colored gels on them so that way I'd have colors. But this is the best part. I have a little table here, and that was before CDs. And so I would literally have all of the sound effects and music on cassette tapes, and each one would be on a different cassette tape. And I would eject and play, inject and play every single time I needed a different sound or music cue.
So like you lived in a dinosaur age. We have it automated now.
This was more.
We
This
just
was.
code and automate
I didn't think y'all were even born when I was doing this.
Probably not.
97.
Definitely not.
That was 97 when I was doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, Joel was just born.
But like this was our little sound room. Now it's just storage. But Mr. Bell had them take out a block here, and then we put in a soundboard because he was really into the plays and things. He put in a soundboard, and then they put in a pipe so we could run our wires through the wall without having to go out the hole.
That makes sense.
So, and then the person running sound would sit in this little and look out the little cube. And that's something. The stage is a lot bigger than I remember though. Abigail started here, TJ started here. Timothy started here. Timothy was in my first class. The first day I ever taught, Timothy was there. Samuel was here. Samuel kissed a light post right here on this corner. It was, well, he was having a dream sequence. He was in love with this girl. And so he was having a dream, and in the dream they were running towards each other as the lights went out, and when the lights came up, he was here like making out with the light bulb. Isn't that funny? Oh, but look at this. I still have a little bit of a legacy here. That's where we used to paint.
Oh.
Isn't that funny?
It's like our loading dock.
Look at that.
That used to be where we painted scenery and stuff. And that right there with the sort of goldish green, those are masks that we painted one time.
Oh.
That's funny. I used to have a trailer right there too, where we could like have class where we could store things. And that's something. And I had big black curtains that would hang on these windows so we could black it out, make the whole room black.
If you have blackouts.
Uh-huh. That's funny. And that giant snake down there on that window with the leaves, I painted that.
This has been there ever since.
It's been there since
Wow.
1998.
It's older than me.
Yeah. Sometimes we would build the stage out, like runways, and like do things in the middle of it too. And one time we did a thing where we needed a campfire in the middle. TJ was actually in that show. So we run the fog machine hose through there, and so it was smoking out the fire and had
that's
lights
fun.
under it. But do you know what I appreciate about this? Is that you had to figure it out. It was really creative. Now, granted, that's been 28 years ago. What about that? What about that? And now they have lunch here and store the wrestling mats. But yeah, this is where all those people who are in our shows right now started. That little stage in a cafeteria. Oh, the memories. Spent how many years here? 8, 9. So amazing. Oh, the stage at the middle school. Does anybody recognize that kid? That little tiny sickly boy? Roderick Usher. Look, he's in this picture too. Right there. You see that kid right there in the middle? Yep, it's TJ. Shows you how long I've known that kid. Oh, here's one. Look at that little kid. Do you might know who that is? That's Samuel. In a Christmas show that we did. And here is when we did a production of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe there. And Mrs. Beaver is none other than Abigail. I've known these kids way long. Oh. Here's a picture from Seussical, the mayor's wife. You know who that kid is? Yup. That's Rachel. Look through here. This was like a fairy tale we did, and that guy right there in the middle cleans my teeth now. Oh, there's another one of Abigail acting all surprised. Mrs. Beaver. She's going, wow. I don't know why I had them pose beating DJ up like that, but oh well. I guess you couldn't do that nowadays, could you? Acting like they're beating a kid up. Speaking of not being able to do stuff, one time we did these anti-smoking skits. And yep, I dressed some kids up like cigarettes. Don't know if that would fly very well now. But yeah, they were cigarettes and ball gowns. We did some fun stuff on that stage. This is a group of African fairy tales that we did, or folk tales. And then here's another one from that, about a spider and some elephants, how the elephants got their trunks. We did some great little sets on there too. That was for a murder mystery we did on that stage where we were this afternoon. And then, in the year 2000, I went to Disney World and saw this parade at Epcot, the Millennium Celebration, and they had these puppets, big puppets. So I was like, ooh, we can build some of those and use them for a play. So that was for a fairy tale. I think it was an Aztec fairy tale, and that was the sun and the moon. Father, Son, and Mother Moon. So we did Charlotte's Web there on that stage, in that cafeteria. Made some great little things there. I have known so many of these kids for so long. So long. Oh, I've got some more in here too. There's Troy. He'll fix your car now. There's TJ and Samuel. There's Samuel. There's TJ. It's crazy. Look at what we did on that little stage at the middle school. It's crazy. So many great memories. And look, there's Abigail again. Being a bird girl. I think the last time we did Sue's hair, she was a bird girl. This is where Grayson did his first show.
It's true.
At what? How old were you?
10.
10. So 16 years ago, Grayson did his first show in these hard, crickety seats. It's so funny. It still smells the same, doesn't it? I mean, the biggest thing is those seats are so hard.
I don't know how you did half the stuff you did.
I don't know how we did it either, but we sure did it, didn't we? This is also the same place where Jessup met his wife.
Yep.
Isn't it funny how many people have been matched, dated, and engaged in a show? Look at this. I don't remember. Are there, 700 seats?
740.
740? Yeah, but they're hard as a rock. It's so funny how, going from the theater to here, it used to be this stage felt tiny, but it doesn't feel tiny right now. I remember doing so many things here. Wow. This used to be our summer. We would spend our summer in here. It's great. Remember climbing up on that ladder? Do you still have that ladder? Here it is. You take that ladder and then you extend it up the middle and you'd have to climb up through the top. And the whole time it'd be like, wah, da, wah, da, wah, da. Now see back here, it looks tiny from here, but it's still, I remember it being much more tinier than this. I don't think it's that small. On those bolts right there, it was something that Effie and Paul rigged, but it was literally stuck to that bolt. And there was this little pulley system that had a wire that would go back here to the back behind the set, and Paul would then crank this winch, a hand winch, to levitate. We levitated the beast in here. Off of a bolt, a tiny little bolt up there in the sky.
To the ceiling.
Yeah, I want to say there was something with like, I can't remember, but we did have pulleys that you could let things down. That was our fly system. And look, there's an old extension cord still up there. It's crazy, isn't it? But it's so fun how you have to figure it out. And you just figure it out. But just imagine, little baby Grayson, I remember he sat right here during Best Christmas Pageant Ever. It was like, who is that little kid with the Bambi eyes? He had like big deer eyes. And he still had hair that he swooshed. He would sit on stage and swoosh.
Yeah, some things don't change.
Oh, still have a big wood pile on top of that box. Put the shelves up there for props. Yeah, we painted that wall black for Cinderella. Yeah, what shows have we done on this stage? We've done Joseph. There's a projector screen here. We've done Joseph. We've done Into the Woods. We've done Guys and Dolls. We've done Beauty and the Beast. We've done Tarzan. I was looking at like things like on this stage, in the SMCPA stage, we've done Tarzan, Guys and Dolls, Beauty and the Beast, Joseph. On the middle school stage and the SMCPA stage, I've done Light and Witch Wardrobe, Best Christmas Pageant Ever. Here, we've done Best Christmas Pageant Ever. On all three, it's like there's so many of them that layer up that, but each time is completely a different show because of the space that you're in. Charlie Brown here, we've done Charlie Brown there. We'll do Charlie Brown there again. So great how you go from one space to the next space and how the show adjusts itself according to where you are. It's great fun. Great fun. And those old floodlights. We thought we were fancy when we had different colors, didn't we? And one show, I can't remember what show it was, one summer, I spent the money and replaced every single bulb so we could have a red, a blue, an amber, and a white. In every single one, yup. Every single layer. And that was before the internet, so we had to, there's green ones back here too. So I had to, we had to go to Lowe's and Home Depots and all those things and find the bulbs that we bought every light bulb between here, probably Charlotte, who knows. I must be getting old because I'm feeling so ooey gooey in all these places. You know? Shut up, Grayson.
Well, 'cause this is what year for you doing it?
Next year is the 30th anniversary of Overlook. We did shows starting here in 1996. The first Overlook show was in here. Until we moved to the theater. Then came back and did a Tarzan here.
Civil War.
We did a Civil War here. Oh, we've done Civil War here, Civil War there. Civil War in Marietta. We're gonna do Civil War again. Boy, it's just like fashion shows keep coming back, don't they? I remember there's a doorway. I gotta go down the hall. The Sunday afternoon of Joseph, I peeked through the door down there and the whole place was full. There was not one single seat open. I gotta go look through the peep. So there's a little doorway right here with a window, and I would always cover it in black paper, but I would leave the corner open so I could peek. And I remember peeking out this door and there was not one single seat empty, and there was a line out there. That's when I knew we had something good going on. Goodbye, old friend. Who knows when, if ever, we'll ever come back in here. Oh, we've done Seuss here, Seuss over there. I did Seuss at middle school. We've done lots of Seusses. I love these old theaters. They need some love. But I love them a lot.
Like I said, you learn to do with what you have.
Exactly, yeah. And that's half the fun, I think, in these spaces, is trying to figure out how to do it. Like, flying yourself, making people fly in here.
Yeah.
Give us, have a seat in these chairs and give us a number 1 to 10 comfort level. Yeah. Tell us what you think. 1 to 10. Would you be able to sit in a show? Joel, no one would want to sit behind Joel.
Joel gets to sit in the back.
How would you rate those?
A 6.
I'll give it a 5.
A 5?
I'll give it a 6.
Okay, sit there for an hour, and then we'll decide. Right? This used to be where my office was when I worked here. Now it's band uniforms. People a lot of times begrudge places like this. But I just so appreciate them. Yeah, because they're like, oh, it's so old, but no. This is where you learn. And it's just like takes you to the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. It's great. To the Fine Arts Building. Look at that. This is going to look familiar. This is Dr. Berger and Kathy in Bye Bye Birdie. And then here's Nikki and me in Bye Bye Birdie. Almost in the exact same pose and wearing red. What is it with that scene and me putting people in red? This is the first big show that Nikki and I did together after she moved back to town. I was teaching her how to smoke in Bye Bye Birdie. She loved those pants, by the way. Look at this kid. Who's that? That's Timothy in their first Overlook production, Fiddler on the Roof, 1999. Everett. Look at baby Everett. Wonderful Stephen Long, bless his heart. He was such a cheerleader. This is me as Jack in Into the Woods. First Overlook show in 1996. Holding the stuffed chicken. There's Steve in Guys and Dolls. Here's Steve in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum with Mrs. Berger. Dr. Berger again. Me when I was playing Hero. So super young. And really tan too. There's Betsy as Grandma Zeidel. Yeah, Grandma Zeidel. But this kid, this is the first time we ever did Joseph. I was playing Joseph. And I'm wearing the same coat that Samuel wore. There's Timothy again in Grease. I had them constantly running across stage, and every time they'd run across stage, and I'd have them squirt their shirt so it looked like they were sweating, so they were running the whole show. There's Effie and Dr. Berger in Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. That's Effie's real hair piled on top of her head. There's Samuel as a soldier. Here's Betsy. She was the wild woman in that show. That is without a doubt. There's Steve. That is without a doubt one of the funniest shows ever. There's Samuel again. Door? Oh, that's a good one of Samuel. You can see up his nose. He still makes that face today. There's me and Steve. He played my dad in that show. This is a good one of Timothy. That's a good shot of him in his pink sequin skirt, giving us a snap. There's Gus. Right there on that Fine Arts Building stage, the three houses. The house of Erroneous, the house of Cynics, and the house of Marcus Licus. that was a lot. If we went over everything, then we would be here days and days and days. And it all started with this picture. I mean, this whole memory, retrospect, whatever you want to call it, because I found this picture. Well, I guess you could say pretty much this life started because of this picture. When we get done with the show, the next day, I usually come and try to straighten things up, put some things away, and I always get a little bit nostalgic because even if we were to do that same show again in 2 months, it would never be the exact same. We wouldn't have the same people. The set might be a little different. The costumes might be a little different. But it would never be the exact same show. So that's what I love about theater, is the communal aspect of it. That same group of people will never have that same experience. Only the people that were there that particular night will ever be able to share that moment. And by doing that, it makes me remember all of the years past. How did we get here to this moment? I can tell you, it was a lot of people and a lot of work, but the journey, oh, how great is that? And what about the future? Well, this year, we're doing everything we've done in the past, but we're gonna completely redo them, turn them on their head, make something completely brand new, and through it all, we're gonna have some fun memories, we're gonna make new memories, we're gonna relive the old memories, because after all, can you really know where you're going unless you stop and look at where you've been? The future is exciting, and we never want to disappoint anyone that's participating or viewing or reading about it. Years ago on that little middle school stage, that we'd now have this wonderful, beautiful auditorium with a gigantic stage and more technology that you could ever imagine. We are so fortunate and blessed. We are blessed.